So, welcome. We are talking to the cast and creative team of Search the Series, which is a new podcast which comes out on the 15th of February 2022. And we are delighted to have writer, creator, and executive producer of Search, Chris Patrick. Chris is going to tell us a little bit about what Search is going to give us. So, Chris, lovely to see you. Could you tell me initially, could you give me 5 words that describe Search?
I think not the story you expect is probably the 5 words. Not the story you expect. Yeah, it's the 5 words I would say describe that the series.
And what is within that? What is a brief kind of synopsis of actually not the story that we expect to happen? Obviously, without giving too much away.
So the story of Search is journalist Matt McNair receives footage of a mysterious figure that vanishes during the footage, and he then embarks on a journey throughout Scotland to investigate the footage itself, the story, and he also uncovers secrets about his own past and also the secrets of Scotland as well. So it's that's kind of the in a nutshell where the series starts, and then it goes off into different areas.
And what inspired you then to come up with this concept? Where did it come from?
So I remember the initial idea came from a show called Ghostwatch, which is a great show written by Stephen Volk, and it was I think it was back in 1992. I remember watching that, and it was the basic premise was that it was like a kind of a real reality investigative show about this family that are getting haunted in their house and down in England, and it was kind of it came off as like it was real. And I do remember watching it and thinking, I wonder if you could do something like that with something strange happening throughout Scotland, or something strange happening and kind of making it very Scottish. And so that's kind of the initial idea came from. And I remember writing down the initial idea. I used to work at Tesco, so I used to write a lot of ideas on bits of receipt paper. So I remember writing the initial kind of idea for Search, or what it is now, down on a bit of receipt roll. And then obviously it is what it is now. So that was kind of the initial idea, but it kind of I mean, it's very different from Ghostwatch. And what's been really fun writing as well is drawing kind of all my influences and inspirations across film and TV and that kind of thing, like Jurassic Park and Ghostbusters, The X-Files, but also bringing in things like All the President's Men and the JFK movie, and with the kind of the political thriller element to it as well. So that's been really, and also Lost, which is a big influence on myself in that writing. So those are the kind of things. It's been kind of fun to, you're kind of standing on the shoulders of giants, really.
And that's great because that gives your audience an idea of where you're coming from and the kind of genres that you're interested in as well, and that you want the audience to kind of be an immersive part of the journey and feel like it's maybe happening, and it is real, but it is fictional. And with the characters then that you've created, I always think you've got goodies and baddies in stories. Who should we be watching out for, and who should we be maybe rooting for?
I mean, I think the McNairs are the beating heart of the story. They're the audience kind of view into to what's happening. They take the audience all on the journey. And if you're talking about the McNairs being the beating heart, then characters like Wells and McCulloch, they are trying to drive a dagger through that beating heart, so that you get that tension there. But honestly, what was really fun, I love all the characters genuinely, and I think that's a testament to the cast, who are all so good. They kind of bring all the characters to life, and even the characters who are maybe like in one scene and they do they're kind of maybe moving the story along, but they're bringing some light relief as well. Were so fun to write for, and the actors just bring all the characters to life. So So yeah, I love them all, and they're all really fun to write for.
And we'll be chatting to the cast and introducing some of these characters over the next few weeks before the launch as well, so they can obviously give the audience a little bit more depth and intrigue to what's to come from their characters as well. Now, a question that I've been wanting to ask you is that if Search was a food, what food would Search be?
It's got to be a Sunday dinner, because there's a lot going on in your plate there, and there's a lot going on in the plate of the characters, shall we say, and Search, and there's loads of different kind of, and obviously the influences and emotions and that kind of thing. So there's a lot happening, as is on your plate on your Sunday dinner. So that's kind of that's where I would go with that. You've got all the good stuff on it.
I love that though, that they've got so much on their plate. I'm always going to think of that now when I have dinner. Brilliant, brilliant. And the title of Search as well, what inspired that? Because it goes under Search and Search the series as well. Where did the title is a really strong title that you've got?
The title Search, it really kind of it's kind of, I suppose, the uniting theme throughout the whole thing. It's the thing that unites all the characters, even though they're on different journeys and things like that. They're all searching for something. They're all looking for something. All of them, even characters who are in my one scene, every character is searching for something, and that kind of ties the whole thing together. So no, it's quite it's quite good that it works out that way, that it links to everything.
So Search, the title, it works on two levels then, Chris, in terms of like the story of the search, the physical search, but what the characters each individually have got going on, I guess, in life as well, that we all have.
Yeah, it does, and it's nice. It's nice when things work on a couple of levels. It has been. It was quite when it came up, and it was a discussion with other people as well. Calling it Search, it's a few people I was talking to, and they were kind of like, "Have you thought about maybe looking at the title?" And then I said, "Yeah, funny enough, you say that, yeah." I'm thinking of maybe renaming it Search, and I said I even ran it past my better half, and who's a fantastic audience member who I've run a lot of things by. So I kind of would say to her, and she was like, "Oh, that's quite cool." So that could be okay, right? That's cool. It works. It's punchy, and obviously, yeah, it's nice that it works on a couple of levels. It's always a nice happy accident when that happens. Even though you intend that as a writer, it's not always, it doesn't always work out. But so that's quite nice that it does that, yeah. Which really works.
And I'm getting the feeling that because you are inspired by Lost, you've mentioned that a few times. Obviously, you couldn't call it Lost because that's been used, but that I've got a feeling that some of your characters may be a little bit lost throughout the series as well, having heard and read the scripts and that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They are. I love Lost. I think it's a great show that mixes your mystery and your thriller and your action and your emotion, particularly, and just great characters, fantastic writing, and yeah, they're all looking for something. They've all got a missing piece. There's a piece missing in all of their lives, and that's although Matt McNair searching for this answers to this mysterious vanishing figure. More so than that, they're all looking for something that's missing within themselves or within their life. So that kind of, although they're all on different paths, it does link them all. So they're definitely they're all adrift, shall we say. And yeah, Lost is such a punchy title, and it was like, I wonder how you can get a real good punchy title in there.
And fundamentally, people are interested in people, and you can have the premise of the story, which you have, of the person going missing, but actually it's about your characters that you created. And can I just ask then, what drives these characters then? You've talked obviously about them being lost and them searching for something themselves, but is there anything else that drives your main characters?
I think I think they're all trying to prove something, either to themselves or to somebody else. They're trying to prove, they're all trying to prove something, and where Matt McNair's trying to prove to his sister Sarah elements about the story, or secrets that he's uncovering, or whether it's some other characters trying to prove their worth to their boss or colleagues, kind of thing, or they're all trying to prove something, and I think that's, albeit the main drive is the search and looking for something. That probably drives them is equally as well. This kind of need to try and prove their worth, or prove something to, let's say, themselves or someone else or something else. Who knows?
And I think that's a brilliant universal theme there, searching for something, trying to prove things to people, feeling lost, that you want to connect with your audiences. And I think that's a lovely way for us to kind of say, yeah, this is what part of this podcast is about, and you can connect because we all have personal experiences like that as well.
Yeah, I think you're nothing without your audience, and that is the hope, is that it's going to connect, and the audience is going to connect with the story and the characters, and the emotion and the humour and the mystery and all these things. So it's really, we're hoping that it connects, and the fact is, yeah, it's got these it works on a story level, and you've got the characters, but also, yeah, there is these things that people can identify with, and like I say, we just hope that it finds that connection with the audience.
And tell us why your audience should join us on this roller coaster then. Why should folk tune in to Search the series?
If you love cliffhangers, it's cliffhanger central. There's loads of cliffhangers. I think the characters are really enjoyable to kind of spend time with, and I love spending time with the characters when I was writing and working with them, with the cast, and but also it's just a kind of, it is a roller coaster. It sounds like a cliche, but it is a roller coaster. There's a lot of emotions in there. It's funny at points, and that was something that surprised me. The humour that we managed to get in and keep in, coming from a comedy writing background. This is kind of the first sort of mystery thriller project I've worked on, script I've worked on. So that's there's a lot going on, and people will find something that appeals to them, and it's a fun story. It's dramatic, it's emotional. I hope people laugh and cry, and really kind of want to find out more. And like I say, hope the characters, but they connect with them, and then it brings them forward in the journey of the series. But it's cliffhangers, and there's a lot of emotion in there as well. And hope people laugh, hope people cry, hope people gasp, which is always, you're kind of running the full gamut of emotions there. So there's a lot going on, and a lot to enjoy and kind of latch on to.
And it's been such a joy to see you go on a journey as a writer over the past 6-7 years as well, and you've gone on a journey with a lot of these actors, and it's just wonderful to see people create their own work and have belief in their own work as well, because you are exec producing it, you've brought a team together, so I just want to say congratulations for all of that as well.
Thank you.
And also the podcasts themselves are only between 15 and 20 minutes long. I know some are slightly longer than others.
Yeah, they're about 15-20 minutes. The finale is longer because of reasons. It's a bumper episode, as finales tend to be. But yeah, you're about 15-20 minutes, and yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. The first 3 episodes launched the series, which is for a reason, and a very cliffhanger reason. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
And what's great about the cast is that you've got some established actors, but you're also bringing in new talent as well, which is brilliant to see. People getting work in that too. It's a lovely combination of people that you've put together, that makes it quite electric as well.
The cast are honestly brilliant. I remember when we did the table read for series 1, looking around the room, and been a bit overwhelmed with going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm working with this team. They're all great, and I've worked with them before in the past, and usually in kind of groups of 1, 2 and 3, so having them all in the room at the same time was a bit overwhelming at first, but it was really great. It was fantastic, and they just left everything. They left the series, they left the writing, they left the characters, they breathed life into it. And the new cast coming on that I've not worked with before, you know, it was important to kind of give some opportunities to people who haven't necessarily done something or done something like this, which was really good, and they're great as well. Even those actors who couldn't make the table read are fantastic, and I'm very, very lucky, and I can't assign their praises enough.
And Chris, can you tell the audience how they can listen to the podcast, follow, you know, the story, the cast, the crew, and everything that's going on with the production?
You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok at Search the Series. There's also the website www.searchtheseries.com. You can follow all the information for there. The podcast itself is all on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can find it there. So you can subscribe and follow, and you'll get all the teasers and the trailers and little bits of bonus stuff that we're putting together. And yeah, it's going to be hopefully everywhere.
And just one final thing, where do you listen to your podcasts? You know, is it in the shower? Is it in the car? Is it when you go for a walk? So many people listen to podcasts in different ways and engage. And I'm intrigued to know from the audiences that will engage with Search where they listen to them. So where do you listen to your podcast?
Probably when I'm doing the dishes. When I'm doing the dishes and doing housework, and I'm not a fan of doing housework or tidying or cleaning, and so my better half, she'll probably say that she'll probably agree with that. But whenever I've got to do that, I fire a podcast on, and then that kind of gets me through it.
We could maybe hire you out, Chris, then to do cleaning. If you just listen to a podcast, you could go to people's houses and clean or do their dishes.
You'll get, if the episodes are 15-20 minutes long, you'll get 15-20 minutes of cleaning and tidying. That's probably all I'm good for.
Brilliant. So Search the Series is out on the 15th of February on all the podcast channels. 8 episodes, roughly about 15 to 20. I'll say that again. Search the Series is out on the 15th of February. That's this year, 2022. There are 8 episodes at roughly about 15-20 minutes. And we look forward to all the cliffhangers.
I can't wait to share it, and hope people enjoy it, and enjoy all the cliffhangers and the payoff in the end.
Well, thank you, Chris. And I will let you get back to your dishes now.
I'm going to go and do them as well. That is true. Thank you.